Hey everyone, so this is question number 2, section 14.4, right? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use exactly the same table that I created on the first question and use it for the second question, right? So just select only the table, copy it, to open a new tab and paste it over there, right? So whenever you paste it like regular paste, right? So we don't need this. Right. So my table is already set up with the formulas. The only thing I need to do is just change the values. So for n here, it can be 20. Then we have 2 as well because we have b1 and b2. So k is 2. Now b1 is going to be 3. b2 is going to be 5. sb1 is 1.1. And sb2 is 0.7. Okay, and you can see here everything has been changed, right? So whatever you do in this part, you're gonna be reflected in this part, and those are the answer already, right? So you need to refer to the first video to see how I put all the values here, right? And I'm gonna fill up as well the second table. So since the second table is b2 here, so b2 is going to be equal sign, and I'm select b2, enter. So the confidence interval, I think they're going to be at 0.95 again, so 0.5. The alpha over 2, that's going to be copy and paste technically, right? So copy this formula here, paste it right there. Okay. And the n is going to be equal sign, and you're going to click on the n there. The n minus k is going to be the same as this one, so I'm going to copy this, paste it. If you double click, you see you've taken the 20 minus 2, that's b1 and b2, k is 2, minus 1, right? sb2 is going to be equal sign, and you're going to put 0.7 here, right? Okay. And we can calculate the t alpha over 2 here. So I'm gonna add the alpha for both cases, right? So alpha here. All right, so it's gonna be 0.05. The alpha, we have it there, right there. And I'm gonna copy it. The t alpha over 2, as we did earlier, you're gonna be equal sign, and then you're gonna be t dot inverse, this one, the first one, right? And we can use the sum of these two sets, and then below the sum, and put the degree of freedom, comma, and the degree of freedom over here, 17 for now. And that's going to be the t value, right? T alpha. Let's double check. So what happened here, that degree of freedom did not change, so that's what we want to do. The n here, we put equal sign instead of 45, and click on this one, enter. So everything had changed. Okay. So that's the t alpha over 2. The t stat here, second one is going to be this value. And I'm going to do again the lower and the upper value, right? So according to my formula, the lower and is going to be equal sign. So it's going to be the b2 first, minus, and then you're going to put the t alpha over 2, multiply it by the sb2 here. And we can do it as well for this. It can be equal sign, the b2, now plus instead of a minus, then t alpha over 2 times the sp2 and enter. So we get the two values that we are looking for, right? Okay, so we can go back to the question, and it's only a matter of filling up the answers there, right? So now comparing T1 versus T2, T2 is greater, so we're gonna select T2, right? X2, sorry. We're gonna select X2, and we're gonna input this value here, copy it, that's the value that we are looking for, right? Round it to 2 decimal places. All set. Check it. Good. Now the confidence interval is right here. That's for data 1. Make sure always is the same number. So if I have 95%, this is a match for my 95% over here and over here as well, right? Okay, so let's copy this one, paste it as a lower end, round it to 3 decimal places, copy the second one here and do the same. All right, check. Good. All right, so the null hypothesis here, so again the same statement, it should be 80, which is B, right? 80 is beta 1 equals 0, and H1 it should be beta 1 different than 0. Okay, done. The T statistic is the same as right here. First one, paste it, 2 decimal places. Okay. All right, the p-value. All right, this is your p-value. Let me remind you about the formula again. So what we wrote here on the p-value, you see the formula for the p-value, right? All right, so the p-value, I put the formula right there. So the only thing I omitted is the equal sign. Please don't forget to put the equal sign. So right there, you see it. Let's copy it and paste it. And you wanna round to 3 decimals, right? Now, the decision whether you accept or reject is right here. Again, I use the if statement in here, so let me copy it. It's right there. Okay, so the if statement, what is saying, if the p-value, which is this value here, is smaller than the alpha value, then we are rejecting. If we reject sufficient evidence, and what does mean that the slope supposedly different than 0, and the variable x1 or x2, in this case x1, is a valid data for our model, right? And we just rejected, so reject is 0, so either A or C, and there is sufficient here and there is not sufficient, so it's going to be A, sufficient, right? And x1 makes a significant contribution to the regression model. Check it, we good. And now we are moving on to the variable x2, right? So we're gonna start all over again. The first statement is beta 2 equals 0, beta 2 different than 0. Okay, we look for the t-stat. So the t-stat for this is gonna be right here. And let me remind you again, so this one is a division of b2 divided by sb2, right? Okay, copy, paste it, 2 decimal places, good. The p-value for this right here. All right, so this is e2 minus 6, that is 0, right? So if you copy this and you paste it right here, probably is not going to give you that value. Nope, you cannot type it in this way, right? So make sure you're gonna be a 0.000, right? 2 decimals, that's enough. Or 3 decimals. Okay, check, we're good. All right, so again, the conclusion is already created for us. over here we reject as well sufficient evidence, right? So reject either B or D, and it will be D because sufficient evidence, and X2 make a contribution, right? Okay, that's done. So both of them in here we get a contribution, reject the 80, and for the second one as well we reject 80 and make contribution. So we need to take both of them, right? Take both X1 and X2, and that's about it, right? So that are the questions, they are similar to this, right? Okay,